following is an exclusive presentation of Ravens Productions.
Coming up on this week's Ravens Report, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens come back to stun the Colts. We go all access as Ravens Wire takes you on the field for Lamar's historic performance. Plus, we preview the AFC showdown against the LA Chargers. All that and more on this week's Ravens Report.
He's the 15th, 10-5, touchdown Ravens. They are dancing in the aisles. Oh, what a scene we have at M&T.
Welcome to this week's edition of Ravens Report. From the Under Armour Performance Center, I'm Evan Washburn. And the Oscar for the most dramatic first 5 weeks of the season goes to, surprise, surprise, the Baltimore Ravens. Another week and another epic game and atmosphere at M&T Bank Stadium. Down 19 points in the third quarter Monday night, the Ravens fought back to get a win in overtime over the Indianapolis Colts, thanks in large part to a historic game from Lamar Jackson, who was tossing the ball all over the yard, completing nearly 90% of his passes for a franchise record 442 yards. Now the Ravens sit at 4-1 through 5 weeks of the season and are riding a 4-game win streak into a huge matchup against the 4-1 LA Chargers. But before we dive into that game, let's head back to Monday Night Football, where we had Justin Houston mic'd up under the lights.
They'll start the drive at their 25. Ravens trail by 8. They are on the move. Jackson steps up, sidesteps a sack, sprints to the right, gets free, runs down the near side 40, cuts back inside the numbers. 33, and he's tackled there, but it's good for a first down. Jackson steps up in a pocket, slings it complete to Hollywood Brown to the 16-yard line. Steps out of one tackle, gets down to the 13-yard line. Second and goal from the 4. Jackson will spread it out. He stands in the shotgun. 3 receivers set tight to the right. Jackson takes the snap, steps up in the pocket, nothing there, still looking, slings to the end zone, caught! Mark Andrews, touchdown Ravens! And it's going to come down now to a 2-point conversion. Jackson in the gun takes the snap, steps up, throws, complete, Mark Andrews! The 2-point conversion is good! And don't go to bed yet, we are all tied at M&T Bank Stadium. Now there's still 39 seconds left in regulation. Complete to the 30-yard line with 6 seconds left. From here, you're looking at a 48-yard field goal try. Rodrigo Blankenship. A 47-yard try, kick is on the way. It is no good! He hooked it wide left, and hope continues to live at M&T Bank Stadium. We're going to overtime. I mean, this place is a party now. Pass the tequila, because this place is going wild.
The call is heads, and it is tails. Baltimore is going to toss and receive.
Ravens get the ball first. The first team with the ball, however, does win if they score a touchdown on that possession.
Primetime game Monday night, we're trying to make it interesting. Hey, now we got to finish.
Got to find a way to finish. But this is championship character being created tonight, this whole season. Woo, it feels good. Let's go finish, baby.
Fires across the middle, complete. Mark Andrews, he's into Indianapolis territory at the 48-yard line. Hollywood Brown has it. Sidesteps a tackler along the sideline, is forced out of bounds. Second and goal, Ravens. Colts 5. Ravens touchdown ends the game. Jackson takes the snap. Looking over the middle, pumps once, throws, end zone, caught! Game over! The Hayes in the board! and the Ravens have won it in overtime. And the Ravens take over top spot in the AFC North, running their record to 4-1.
It's a crazy game. I don't even know what to say, man. I'm just happy we got the victory.
And the Ravens pull off the unbelievable in unthinkable style, and they send this crowd home all kind of happy. How about that?
What a night and what a comeback. And it's clear with this team, no deficit is too large, especially when you have Lamar Jackson under center. Coming up next on Ravens Report, we sit down with tight end Mark Andrews, fresh off a career night against the Colts. Welcome back to Ravens Report, presented by MedStar Health. I'm Evan Washburn. 2 days after their Oklahoma Sooners won a shootout over their arch-rival Texas, alums Mark Andrews and Marquise Brown balled out on Monday Night Football. And for Andrews, it was a career night with a personal best 147 yards receiving, along with 11 catches and 2 touchdowns. And with that performance, Andrews now leads all tight ends in the NFL with 400 yards receiving. And for more on Monday night and this roller coaster of a season, here is Mark Andrews with Shelby Granath.
Still looking, fires to the end zone, caught, touchdown, Mark Andrews. Slings to the end zone, caught, Mark Andrews, touchdown Ravens. And the Ravens have won it in overtime.
Mark, what a game on Monday night, an instant classic. But I feel like we can say that about a lot of games so far this season. What has it been like to be part of all those memorable finishes?
It's been fun, most importantly, but you're right. It's been we've had a lot of crazy finishes, but I think it goes to show you the type of team that we have. The belief that we have in every game, no matter the situation that we're put in, and guys just fighting to find a way to win, and that's what it takes to get wins in this league. And if we have to win every game like that, we will.
You guys obviously all believe you're going to win the game, but was there a point in the game where you knew this team was going to win?
That's a tough question. It was 22-3, I believe, at one point, and it didn't feel like we were going to lose that game. Sometimes when you get in situations like that, you can kind of start doubting yourself, but we never felt that. There was never a sort of, oh man, we may not win this game, but I remember being 22-3 and saying, all right, let's go. Like, it's time to get it going and score some points, and that's exactly what we did.
You scored 2 touchdowns on Monday night, your first scores of 2021, and that's the longest you had gone without a score to start the season. How hungry were you to get into the end zone?
Very, very. Like you said, it was a while before I had gotten in, so just to be able to get in the end zone, there's no better feeling than that. So it was definitely a blessing.
And then we noticed you spent a little extra time in the end zone after your scores. After the game, you told reporters that your grandma had passed away last week. How much were you playing that game for her?
100%. It was all for her. And just the way I approached everything that last week, and I knew that she was going to be over me, watching down at all of us, all the Ravens organization. She was a huge fan. She looked at everything. So. But she was a huge part of my life and my whole family's life, so she's definitely going to be missed, but she's in a better place.
During that Colts game, you and Hollywood Brown became the first NFL teammates from the same college to have 2 receiving touchdowns and over 100 receiving yards in the same game. What has it been like for you to kind of see how you have both evolved and have had success at the professional level?
It's been crazy. It's been a real crazy ride for him and myself, and You know, it's been so much fun to be able to play together in the NFL level, and just both, you know, be able to grow and mature. It's always awesome when you're able to, you know, it doesn't happen very often like that. Incredible teammate, incredible friend, and I'm definitely thankful for him.
Now, we can't talk about that Monday night game without mentioning Lamar Jackson. Lamarvelous, Action Jackson. How would you describe what he has been doing on the field this year?
Incredible. Like you said, incredible. He's a different breed. Just the way that I think the game is just so slow to him. He's throwing the ball incredibly well. You know, he's able to run it whenever he wants. Like I said, the game's very, very slow for him, and for as a tight end and receivers and the O-line, you know, he's making our job so easy because he's that good of a player.
Too soon for MVP talk?
It's never too early for Lamar Jackson MVP.
Mark, another big test this weekend, battle of two divisional first-place teams. What challenges will that Chargers defense bring to Baltimore?
They're going to be flying around. You know, they've played in a lot of good games so far, so they're going to be battle-tested. You know, we're definitely going to have our hands full. So I'm excited about this matchup. I know everybody in this facility is going to be excited about it. I know they're going to be excited about it. So it's going to be a big game. We know the bank's going to be packed, going to be loud. So it's going to be a fun one, man. We're going to be ready to go.
Okay, Mark, thank you so much for your time, and good luck on Sunday against the Chargers.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate you.
That Lamar Jackson-Mark Andrews connection has been fruitful for 4 seasons now. And if teams choose to defend the Ravens like the Colts did Monday night, selling out to stop the run, look out for more big games from 89. Coming up next on Ravens Report, we preview Sunday's battle of first-place teams with the head coach, John Harbaugh.
Ravens Report is brought to you by MedStar Health, the official medical team of the Baltimore Ravens, and you. MedStar Health. It's how we treat people.
Welcome back to this week's edition of Ravens Report from the Under Armour Performance Center. I'm Evan Washburn. It's a short work week for the Ravens, who now face arguably their toughest opponent thus far this season in the LA Chargers, who, much like the Ravens, are 4-1 atop their division and have a young MVP caliber quarterback in Justin Herbert, who through 5 games this season is top 5 in yards and touchdowns, while leading a dynamic passing attack for LA. And for more on the challenge that the Chargers present, here's John Harbaugh with Garrett Downing.
Coach, thanks so much for the time. Big week, big win on Monday night. Let's start with that game because it was one that we're all going to remember for a long time. So you're down 19 points and it's, you know, not looking like it's going to go your direction, and then all of a sudden you come roaring back. Take me onto the sidelines to kind of describe the emotion and the attitude over the course of that comeback.
Yeah, you know, you remember the emotion probably and the moments after the plays, but the part that was the most meaningful for me probably was the attitude that you're talking about. Nobody was down about it. Nobody was out about it. Nobody complained about it. Everybody was just, what do we got to do to get back in it? You know, offense is we got to go score quick. You know, we got to move as fast as we can. We were talking about being in fast 2-minute mode, and that's all they were talking about, what plays we were going to run, you know. I do remember after going into the field goal that Calais ended up blocking, I went over to Lamar and Murray and those guys were all standing over there, all the running backs, the quarterbacks, and I said, all right, it looks like it's going to be a 2-score game. We got to score twice, so the first score needs to be by this, you know, to have a chance for the second one, or we're going to be kicking the onside kick. Two possession game. And I didn't see the thing even get blocked. You just kind of heard the crowd go crazy. And all of a sudden, Murray's like, it's a 1-score game. It's a 1-score game. It's a 1-score game. Let's go.
That's
great.
That's awesome. Yeah, after the game, you talked about Lamar's performance and how it was one of the greatest performances you've seen. Colts owner Jim Irsay even went a step further, said it was maybe the best in NFL history. Now that you've had a few days to reflect on it, still was impressed?
Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing. I mean, just as impressed as the Lions game, just as impressed as the Chiefs game. I mean, those are just incredible things for everybody. And the thing I love about Lamar, and it was an incredible quarterback performance. I mean, you know, he's the quarterback. He's the guy. He deserves the credit. But all the guys deserve the credit. Mm-hmm. You know, all the guys out there in the field, all the guys calling the plays, everybody involved deserves the credit, you know. So that's what you rally around. That's what makes it so neat.
This week, it's another challenge. You got one of the best teams in football coming in here with Justin Herbert, who's right there in that MVP conversation along with Lamar. What is it that he's doing so well that's going to be a challenge to stop this week?
Well, they've got really good players around him. He's very talented. He's got a very strong arm. He gets the ball out quick when he needs to. He can run when he needs to. He's accurate. Offensive line's playing good football. But they've got skill guys everywhere. You know, they've got 3 tight ends. They've got multiple backs, especially Eckler. They've got at least 3 receivers, but they even go deeper than that. But 2 huge possession receivers, 1 speed guy. They're just kind of loaded, and he does a great job of distributing the ball to everybody. So that's going to be our challenge, is defending the width of the offense across the board in terms of the playmakers. But we'll be ready for it. Our guys will be up for the challenge. We've got some ideas, and we'll see how they work.
Excellent. Well, Coach, we can't wait for Sunday at 1 o'clock. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks so much for the time.
Thanks, Garrett.
Coming up next on Ravens Report, Brian Billick breaks down how the Ravens' passing attack picked apart the Colts down the stretch Monday night. It's the Billick Breakdown after this.
Brian Billick's Breakdown is powered by Microsoft, the official tablet of the Baltimore Ravens.
Welcome back to Ravens Report, presented by MedStar Health. I'm Evan Washburn. For 3 quarters Monday night, it looked as if the Colts had unlocked the secret on how to stall the Ravens' offense, specifically the rushing attack. But that plan did not account for the magic that is Lamar Jackson, who put the team on his back in the 4th quarter. It was a game where Lamar accounted for over 96% of the Ravens' total yards through the air and on the ground. And for more on how he did it, here's Brian Billick with the Billick Breakdown.
Well, whether you were at the game or whether you watched it on Monday Night Football, what a spectacular game, spectacular comeback. And what jumped out at me is watching Lamar operate as a quarterback. We've been talking about that for a while, that unique style of play that he has. This is the first time that I think we've seen the trifecta of the defense wasn't playing well, they weren't running the ball well, and he was going to have to throw the ball 40 or more times in coming from behind to win a game. I want to show you some clips here that really underline the working of the pocket and what he did at the quarterback position that kind of underlines just what he did. This first one, this is very simple. He does a good job. I want you to watch what he does with the free safety. The free safety rotates late into the middle of the field. Lamar holds them there, recognizing that Brown's going to do that little out and up and go vertically. He wants to isolate him one-on-one with the corner and keep the free safety out of it. Does a great job in the pocket, keeps his eyes and his body that way before he turns and makes the throw. So that was an outstanding pocket presence and directing the safety by Lamar for the touchdown. Now, obviously, Mark Andrews had a huge game. This was a unique one by Indianapolis. They take a single high defense and they rotate what amounts to a Tampa 2, which is 2 wide safeties with a middle safety coming down into the middle or a rover position. And again, this is just a spectacular throw. They clear it out. Andrews gets into the soft spot of that voided defense. This is a very difficult throw. Lamar drops it exactly in the hole where it needs to go. Again, now you're going to see the rotation of the defense. This is what I'm talking about. Lamar functioning as a quarterback, not running around, watching the rotation of the defense and going to where the open man's going to be. They motion the running back out of the backfield. That affects the underneath coverage. You can see the safety drop down hard and jump on the running back. It hesitates the linebacker before he turns back. Nice job by Brown, where Lamar anticipates where the hole is and able to drop it in just underneath Mark Andrews to Brown based on where the formation and the defense took him. So an excellent read from the quarterback position. Now, this is where it really gets fun. I want to look at 3 of the touchdowns that he had. First one's to Andrews. Andrews starts on the outside. He pivots to the inside. Lamar keeps the pocket alive, good protection by the offensive line. He works himself open into the middle, and it comes up with a touchdown. Lamar is waiting him out and knowing where he can go with the ball. Now, contrast this to the next one. Again, he's down here in the bunch, kind of the same play. He's going to start his way on the way outside, then he goes back inside into that same area. Indianapolis saying, no, we're not going to let that happen to us again. So what does Andrews do? He works back outside, kind of retraces his steps along the goal line, staying in the end zone, and gets the touchdown. And then on the final game-winning touchdown, you're going to see Marquise Brown at the bottom of the screen. Him do the same thing. He's going to come from the inside. The bunches at the top. Naturally, they're going to be focused on Andrews because he's already hurt them, obviously, for a couple touchdowns. But watch the way Marquise Brown starts inside and then pivots back out. Same way we just saw Andrews. He's trusting Lamar in the pocket to read him, wait for that open area, delivers it for the spectacular run at the end of the game. So just a spectacular game. And again, coming back to Lamar, these are all things from the quarterback position that we've been talking about that he has not particularly done because of his unique ability to run the ball. He did it strictly from the quarterback position, and that's got to be exciting going forward. He's going to need that this week against an outstanding Charger group that's coming in. This thing could turn into a track meet. Justin Herbert's playing spectacular. He's on pace for better than 600 throws, better than 65% completions, more than 5,000 yards, more than 40 touchdowns. So this is going to be a great battle between two young, great quarterbacks.
Well, there's little doubt that this Ravens team is able to find a way to win each week. And as Calais Campbell said, football is a momentum-based game. And now the Ravens hope to take that momentum into a huge matchup Sunday at home against the LA Chargers, who also sit at 4-1 and have already beaten some of the top teams in the AFC. They beat the Chiefs on the road in Week 3 and took down the Browns at home last Sunday. Now, their identity is rooted in their offense, and it's led, as we mentioned, by second-year quarterback Justin Herbert. And he has a bevy of weapons to distribute the ball to, especially at the wide receiver position, with a dynamic duo of Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. Keys to this game. Defensively for the Ravens, they have to be much better in their pass coverage. They surrendered 390 yards to Carson Wentz and the Colts. And the Colts are in the middle of the pack in the league in terms of pass offense, while the Chargers, they're top 5 in that department. As for the Ravens offense, this would seem to be the perfect game to get that rushing streak going once again. The Chargers are last in the NFL in stopping the run, surrendering on average 157 yards per game. That's it for this week's show. Thanks so much for watching. And don't miss the newest episode of the Purple Chair Podcast with Cassie Calvert, who introduces you to the Ravens organization in a new way, featuring voices you may not have heard from before. Episodes are available wherever you get your podcasts. We'll see you right back here next week on Ravens Report.